This demonstration shows how to set up a new Facet5 project using the new project wizard. First you log in as usual, and when you're at the home page then click the Projects tab. This brings up the project workbench and you can see you have some options. You can change which type of project you're showing. You can also decide whether you only want to look at your own projects or to show all of the projects within your client account. You can see here that there is one project on this list in my account, but I want to create a new one, so I'm going to click on New Project Wizard. This is for a coaching exercise for somebody called Richard Cameron. I usually, when I've got a project like this, give the name that indicates to me who this is. So I'm going to enter project ID of Cameron Richard. I'll give him his capital letter. I need to put in some form of brief description just to remind myself in 6 months' time what this was about. So I can say that this was coaching for Richard. I don't need to put a client name in there. Richard is new to the system, so I can't copy him from anywhere else. I could set it to be for my eyes only, in which case I'd be the only one able to see this project. And I'm not going to discuss the suppressed closeness of fit yet, because that's only appropriate if we're running an audition report, which we're not for Richard. Click on Continue, and the first thing it asks me is what products do I want Richard to complete. So I'm going to say I want him to complete a Facet5 profile. Click Continue. It's now asking me who do I want to put into this project. Richard is a new respondent, so I click on Add New Respondent, put in the family name, Cameron, the given name, Richard. Notice that it immediately fills in the display name for you. Now that's fine, but I also happen to know that Richard prefers to be known as Rich, and it's important to change that because this is what will appear in the written reports. I need to put in an email for him. He is rich.cameron@abcco.com. If I click that, it will make it just for my eyes only, as it says, but I will be the only one able to see that, which is awkward if somebody else needs to, so I'm not going to set that. Which client are we talking about? Now notice that these two fields here, the client and the reason for the test, are set up for my account. Your account may put different labels under these as you use these fields for different things. I use them here to say which client I'm working with, and here why am I doing this exercise. Selecting from the list, yes, ABC Co, I've done work with them before. I could put a new one if I wanted to. Reason for the test, I've actually done coaching for ABC Co before. So I'll put that in there and save it. You can now see that Richard Cameron is in there, that's his email address. He's the only one I want to put into this project, so I'll now just click Continue. We now need to know who in the list is going to complete the Facet5 profile. Well, it's only Richard, so we're just going to do that. Language, I can choose whichever language I want, but Richard wants to do it in English, and click on Continue. We've now set up the project. You can see there's the project name, and notice, however, it says here next to Richard, nothing is completed. You can look down. If you click on that, you can see, okay, he's set up to do a Facet5, but in fact, no invitation has been sent. Otherwise, there'd be a date in there. So now I just click on Send Invites, and it says, right, is there anything you want to add to the standard message that's being sent out to Richard? I can preview what the message will look like, and I look at that and think, well, no, that's absolutely fine. Go back and then click on Send. Now you will see here there is a difference in there, but if we click down, it'll have a date. It says that Richard was actually invited on the 20th. Notice there's a reminder button. If Richard is slow to respond or says he didn't get the email, you can just click on that and it will send out a repeat of it. There is also a Remind All button up here. That's for when you have multiple people in the project and you want to send out a number of reminders simultaneously. If you click that, it will just send out a reminder to anybody in the project who hasn't completed it yet. And that's all you need to do. That's the end of story.